Welcome to the Humanist Report. My name is Mike Figueredo. So this is a little bit more unorthodox for me because typically I just focus on my podcast, so I'm not going to really be making these types of videos more often. But I had to interject because, of course, as you all know, the Supreme Court issued their historic ruling on marriage equality in Obergefell v. Hodges. So I really wanted to discuss this briefly. I had to go over Kennedy's opinion because it's really, really powerful, particularly that last paragraph. So I'm going to read that to you guys. So he says, "No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family. In forming a marital union, two people become something greater than they once were. As some of the petitioners in these cases demonstrate, marriage embodies a love that may endure even past death. It would misunderstand these men and women to say they disrespect the idea of marriage. Their plea is that they do respect it so deeply that they seek to find its fulfillment for themselves. Their hope is not to be condemned to live in loneliness, excluded from one of civilization's oldest institutions. They ask for equal dignity in the eyes of the law. The Constitution grants them that right." So this is a very powerful opinion. His support for gay rights is unequivocal. And look, I couldn't be happier about it. So this is something that's extremely important to me, and this may be the exception where I actually talk about myself as opposed to the issues, but I had to discuss it because marriage equality is super important to me. I came out to my family 5 years ago and told them that I was gay, and it was something that was, at the time, very, very difficult. Now, 5 years into the future, today, I wouldn't have expected that we would move so fast, not just from a social perspective, but also from a legal perspective as well. I knew that the Supreme Court would one day rule that marriage equality is a constitutional right under the 14th Amendment, as they rightfully did, but I didn't think it would be in 5 years. I thought it would be maybe 10, even 15, perhaps even 20 years. So it's nice to be proven wrong in that respect. So back just 5 years ago, when I came out to my family, I was terrified. I mean, even just the thought of one person knowing, it made me really, really nervous. Each time I would come out to people, within the first 5 people that I told, I always felt like I wanted to throw up, I wanted to back out and not do it, but I really forced myself. And that time period, it was about a 6-month time period where I was coming out, even though you're never fully out as a gay person because you start a new job. You gotta tell all those people, you meet some new people, you're gonna end up telling them inadvertently somehow. But anyways, in that time period when I was in the official coming out process, I told one person who didn't take it particularly well, and that individual ended up outing me to every single person I know. So I was so terrified because at the time people weren't necessarily friendly to the idea of accepting homosexuality. And I had a nervous breakdown. I ended up developing an anxiety disorder that I still have to this very day. I still get really nervous when somebody finds out that I'm gay. So I don't think I really have to worry about that so much because this case really encapsulates how far we've come as a society. Everyone who was once against me when I first came out is now an avid supporter of me. So I couldn't be happier about that. This really, really speaks to the fact that Americans really have the capacity to change, they have the capacity to grow, and it makes me really optimistic for the future of our country on other types of issues, such as marijuana legalization, such as universal health care and whatnot. Even though those are unrelated issues, it still shows that from a social standpoint, we do have the capacity to grow. So I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to briefly share my personal story because I thought that it would really demonstrate not only just how far we've come, but how we should be proud as a society that this has come to fruition fully and is now a reality in all 50 states, marriage equality that is. Now, this doesn't mean that we don't have any work to do. I mean, you can still be fired for your job in, I believe, 29 states if they find out that you're LGBT. Transgender people can not serve openly in the military. So, we've got work to do. This isn't the end of it, but this is the biggest victory for us yet, and this is the biggest Gay Rights History Month ever. So this coming Thursday when I film episode 3, I'm going to be discussing this matter. I won't cover the case itself, but what I'm really going to be covering is the meltdown that's ensuing right now. If you've read some of the opinions from GOP candidates, if you've read some of the opinions from just really popular mainstream evangelical Christians such as Joshua Feuerstein, I think I'm saying his name wrong probably, but that doesn't matter. They're having a meltdown right now, so we're going to celebrate and we're going to get to them on Thursday, and I'll discuss it in detail then. But anyways, I'll see you guys then. Look forward to a couple of videos over the next few days. Take care.